What's up, Taiwan? I'm Rik Glauert with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Another typhoon is set to hit Taiwan's north this weekend. That's just as the south of the country cleans up from the last big storm. John Van Triest has this typhoon season update.
It's shaping up to be a rough weather week for East Asia, as a string of typhoons and tropical storms have been hammering the region. One of them, Typhoon Haikui, is headed towards Taiwan's north and could cut across the island.
这样子走，它的暴风圈有可能会比较接近我们的基隆北海岸地区，但是会不会接触到陆地？好，就是还要再看它未来它整个移动。
As the north prepares for this storm, the south is cleaning up after another. Typhoon Saola left widespread flooding in low-lying areas on a scale some people there say they haven't seen in years. Officials from a flooded part of Pingtung County say equipment for dealing with floods was of little use.
整个河体全部都满出来，根本没有办法抽啊。
Saola is now heading towards Hong Kong. Schools, businesses, and the stock exchange there have been shut down in preparation. Joining these two storms is Tropical Storm Kirogi, now headed to Japan, so it could be several days before calm returns to the region. Scott Huang and John Van Triest for TaiwanPlus.
The government is working to make it easier for people to hire foreign caregivers. That's according to Premier Chen Jianren.
政府实际上已经实施了长照2.0的计划，进行社区长照还有住宿型长照，但是还是有些家庭需要有家庭的看护移工的帮忙，我们会秉持着简政便民、扩大照顾原则，来放宽家庭看护移工申请的门槛，并且做好社会的沟通。
Chen says the Health and Welfare Ministry will change the way it assesses the need for care, making it easier for people to hire a foreign caregiver. This comes after opposition presidential candidate Hou You-yi said if he wins the upcoming election, he will remove assessments entirely for people over 80. Manufacturing activity in Taiwan saw an upswing in July after several months of contraction. That's according to the Zhonghua Institution of Economic Research, or SEER, a local think tank. SEER's composite index gauges the manufacturing sector's performance. It rose by over a point last month. It was the highest figure on the index since September 2022. SEER says the increase is due to the coming peak sales season for tech products. It says this has raised demand for inventory, boosting export orders and production. Taiwan's cabinet has signed off on new rules restricting public servants from using generative artificial intelligence. Several countries have been mulling how to regulate fast-moving, growing AI technology. Joyce Zheng has this report.
In the months since it was publicly launched, generative artificial intelligence has only been getting stronger. Rapid advances in AI have complicated government efforts around the world to regulate the technology, which is also true in Taiwan. For months, officials have been drafting rules to ensure three main things: that AI-generated information is correct, tools are used responsibly, and that digital infrastructure powering AI is secure. That's resulted in Taiwan's first set of rules for using machine-generated content in the public sector.
封闭式的地端的部署的生成式 AI 的模型呢，如果确认它这个系统环境的安全可以依机密等级呢来分级使用。
According to the guidelines, any AI-generated content by public offices, from the military to hospitals, must still be reviewed and approved by a human user. AI tools are not allowed to be used on confidential information. And in the interest of privacy, personal details are also banned from being fed into AI's data pool. Any public official using AI on a private network or VPN must also have this cleared first. And if AI is used at any point, that must be clearly labeled. Given the infinite ways generative AI can be applied, these rules are likely just a starting point.
我们希望在比较适当的这个资讯之下，我们才能够往那个AI 基本法这个往下走。
Tech giants are betting artificial intelligence will revolutionize the way the world works. But concerns over a potential uncontrollable spread of disinformation and lack of transparency leave global leaders in a tight spot. As engineers explore new realms of AI capabilities, governments face the tough task of supporting innovation while protecting people from potential harm. And by releasing guidelines for public officials, Taiwan has taken its first step. James Lin and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Taipei Mayor Zhang Wan'an is back after his controversial trip to Shanghai. Zhang's visit with the mayor of the Chinese city was a rare moment of official communication across the strait. There have been no national-level talks between China and Taiwan for the last 7 years. And Zhang also previously said the annual Twin Cities Forum should only be held if China stops harassing Taiwan. But he maintains his trip will benefit both cities.
今年我们是第14届，能够把过去所打下的基础，所共同签署的45项备忘录，能够持续的深化。这一次的双城论坛，更重要，希望传达的意义是希望能够透过两座城市对话、沟通，务实的面对很多市政问题，而促进更多实质的合作，而能够符合民众的期待。 都是希望两岸能够和平、稳定、繁荣。
Vietnam is the latest country to condemn a new map by China. The map shows Taiwan and the entire South China Sea as Chinese territory. The sea is one of the most disputed areas in the world. It is used by trade routes worth about $3 trillion a year. Taiwan, the Philippines, India and Vietnam have rejected the map, and some have filed diplomatic objections. Chinese officials say it's based on historical maps and did not say whether it represents official claims. Japan's defense ministry is asking for a record-breaking $52 billion for 2024. That's a 12% increase from the year before, with a large portion of that budget going to warships, missile defense and counter-strike weapons. It's part of Japan's plan to double defense spending to 2% of the country's GDP by 2027, in reaction to perceived threats from China and North Korea. Earlier this year, Japan also announced it would deploy a missile defense unit on one of its islands just over 100 kilometers from Taiwan. At least 74 people are dead after a fire ripped through an apartment building in Johannesburg, South Africa. Many of those killed were children, the youngest a 1-year-old. People trapped inside threw babies out of third-story windows to others below. More than 50 people were injured in the blaze. 6 of them are in hospital in a serious condition. The building has been occupied by unhoused people and squatters for some years. People are saying this tragedy is a wake-up call to do more for the city's low-income population. Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has asked for a royal pardon for corruption and abuse of power. The billionaire businessman has been in prison since last week, when he made a dramatic return to Bangkok after 15 years in self-exile. He's now serving an 8-year sentence for crimes committed during his premiership, which ended in 2006 when he was toppled in a military coup. Thaksin arrived back in Thailand just as his former party returned to power. This has fueled speculation that he has struck a deal with Thailand's royal and military establishment. Thaksin denies those allegations. The founder of a Cantonese language advocacy group in Hong Kong has closed down his organization after the city's national security police raided his family home. Authorities are demanding Andrew Chan's group delete a short work of dystopian fiction from its website. I spoke to Mr. Chan, who is currently in Brisbane, Australia. So could you tell us a little bit about your case? What happened recently in Hong Kong?
They think it is violating the national security law. So on that day, they asked my family member to forward a message that I must take down the law, the article, or else I will face a serious legal consequence. In Hong Kong, committing any offense in about national security law is a very serious offense. I mean, it can lead to lifelong sentence, and also the conviction rate is 100%.
In what ways is local Hong Kong culture, Cantonese culture, under threat?
I think it has a great negative impact to the freedom of speech of Hong Kong society. I have been reported to the National Security Police by the pro-Beijing party in Hong Kong that they claim that promoting Cantonese culture in Hong Kong is actually a behavior of promoting Hong Kong independence and also promoting anti-China thinking. And that, I think, is violating the basic human rights and also the freedom of speech.
Could you give us a sense of how Hong Kong has changed?
Now, if you walk around Hong Kong, you see that there are much less people compared with 5 years ago. Even Hong Kong people can still make a living now, but the mood to spend or the mood to play around is not as excited as before. We don't enjoy in Hong Kong. Hong Kong become the place to work and earn money only, but we don't have our souls here now. We are just earning in Hong Kong and spending elsewhere.
That was Cantonese language advocate Andrew Chan speaking about his recent run-in with Hong Kong's National Security Police. The U18 Baseball World Cup has kicked off in Taiwan, and it's not just fans watching. Scouts from professional teams are also keeping a close eye. Leslie Liao was at the opening game.
It's that time again. 12 baseball teams from 12 countries have converged on Taiwan to vie for baseball supremacy in the Under-18 Baseball World Cup. The tournament began with an opening ceremony on Thursday, with Taiwan hosting Australia in the inaugural game. Unfortunately, unstable weather caused by a passing typhoon has taken its toll on attendance numbers, but those who have showed up are giving Taiwan their full support. But the U18 Baseball World Cup isn't just important to the fans, it's important to professional ball clubs as well. Players in this competition are around signing age. Talent scouts from around the world scoured the U18's first game looking for fresh talent to scoop up. Players like Ling Li-en represent the future of Taiwanese baseball.
On behalf of all athletes, I vow to take part in the 2023 31st WESC U18 Baseball World Cup in Taipei, in accordance with its rules, accepting all decisions made by the umpires and officials, and in competing with all our strength to win through sportsmanship for the glory of international baseball and the honor of our teams.
And after hosting the World Baseball Classic and the U12 World Cup earlier this year, it's time for Taiwan's baseball stars to once again gun for the top spot. 10 years have passed since Taiwan last hosted the U18 World Cup, and the country will be hoping to leverage its home field advantage to earn its fourth U18 title. Taiwan has consistently medaled at the event, ranking in the top 3 19 out of 30 times in the competition's history. And Team Taiwan is off to a good start after beating Australia 3-0. Baseball fans in Taiwan are spoiled in 2023. The U18 Baseball World Cup is the third major international competition the country has hosted this year. And that's not to mention the other international competitions happening overseas, like the Asian Games coming up in the end of September. So baseball fans in Taiwan have plenty to look forward to and plenty of reason to yell, "Go team!" Patrick Sun and Leslie Liao in Tianmu, Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
The police force has just got its first electronics detection dog. He's a black lab named Wafer and was donated by an organization in the US. Dogs like Wafer are used in other countries to sniff out hidden memory cards and other data storage devices. They can do this thanks to a chemical in the devices. These dogs have played an important role in several child predator cases overseas. Wafer is set to start sniffing out electronics after 2 weeks of training in the US. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Rik Glauert. Take care and we'll see you next time.